My guest tonight starred in the Hangover movies and the Emmy Award-winning series The Office. He's beloved. Please welcome our pal, Ed Helms. Ed, nice to see you, sir.
Great to see you.
Thanks for saluting me, even though I'm not in the military.
You're my captain. You're still my captain.
I'm going to ask you the question that is most on my mind, which is here in LA. You know, things are they're trying to relax things a little bit. Are you able to get outside the house? Because that's the only way to stay sane. If you can be responsible, but still get outside somehow.
I can. I live in a neighborhood that is very conducive to walking and that sort of thing. There's a lot of face mask shaming going on. You know, if people aren't wearing face masks, then
yeah.
Real dirty looks. And the dirty looks are even dirtier when they're from behind a mask because it's just eyes. So it's kind of like, it's more intense. But I actually support that. I support shaming non-face mask wearers because someone could like sneeze and kill your family. So like, let's just all be responsible here.
It's one thing if someone doesn't want to practice social distancing themselves, but there are people that will invade your space.
Yeah.
It's like they're willfully getting into someone else's grill, which seems weird.
Yeah. I'm kind of a leave me alone guy on a normal day. And at this point, it's like, yeah, everybody just better back off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Conan, you feel a little close.
Yeah.
You
think I'm too close right now?
Yeah. You're freaking me out.
Oh, God. I can get as close as I want. And this is HD, baby.
I'm smearing Purell all over my.
But you can feel the anxiety, you know, even when you're just, you know, walking around socially distanced. If you see other people, you can sense there's a lot of tension out there.
Yeah, and I just think everybody's sort of baseline anxiety is a little bit higher right now. I was out for a walk, and there was a guy in this sort of grassy area. Doing yoga. Like it looked like he probably did yoga videos for people. Like he's an incredible physique. He just had on little tiny shorts and was doing these poses, and it was like kind of amazing. Then he kind of takes this meditation pose and really sinks into this deep state of meditation or relaxation or something. And I was like, man, this is awesome. I wish I could kind of like have that much peace during this crazy time. We wound up walking back to our car in this parking lot, and there's no cars in this parking lot except for ours and then his. And he walks past us, goes to his car. As we're sitting there, another car comes into this empty parking lot and pulls in right next to him, which during this time is kind of a weird move, right?
Yeah.
Like
there's plenty of other places to park. Yeah.
The parking spaces, pulling anywhere. So this guy pulls in right next to the Zen master's car. He sees this and he goes, "Oh, come on!" I thought, that's all it took to like break you out of your reverie. Maybe you're not quite as at peace as I thought.
I feel better when I find out that those Zen guys totally lose it, completely lose it.
My wife and I just burst out laughing, and we started the whole drive home. We were going, "Come on!" Now my daughter, who is 2.5 years old, internalized that, and she says it all the time. So it'll be like, "Come on, we got to put your shoes on." "Oh, come on."
That's what she took away from the Zen master.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what's freaking me out a little bit is I know it's a nice thing, and I hear at a certain time at night, you can hear people cheering for the medical workers.
Isn't that great?
It's great. I love the sentiment of it, and I think it's really beautiful. But
yes,
do you know what I'm saying here?
I have a little look. It is great, and I've even heard from friends in the medical community that are like, "It makes us feel so good and appreciated," and that's amazing. But I do have this quick little like need. My first response when I first hear all the horns, and like my neighborhood goes berserk. People are beating drums and yelling and honking horns and stuff. And for that first like half a second, my first thought is, oh my God, the purge has started.
Yes.
And like,
yes,
it's like the social order has just broken down, and we have to like run to the basement and try to save ourselves, and maybe start eating a neighbor or something.
I hear that, and I think zombie apocalypse. It sounds like a horde of monsters are coming. Now, I've seen footage in Italy. They sing opera. They do this other stuff. Here in America, we shriek and we bang on kettles and pots, and it just scares the shit out of me. And I'm really happy for the I want the medical workers to get their due, but I feel like there should be a better way. I feel like there must be a better way to show our appreciation, like just quietly mail them checks. Maybe that's the way to go, you know?
It also wakes up my 2.5-year-old almost every night.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot.
She's rattled by it, so that's not ideal.
I would think if you have a 2.5-year-old, you're probably doing fun things with her. Is that right? Lots
of games, lots of songs and stuff. I built we've been getting too much cardboard from all of our deliveries, so I repurposed some cardboard into a train. I made a cardboard train. I made a cardboard train for my daughter.
Wow. How now is this just like, okay, I'll put one box in front of another and that's the engine and this is the caboose? Or I'm knowing you, I'm guessing it got a little more elaborate.
Yeah. So I'm kind of crafty, a little bit of a craft nerd. And I got too into it. I'm just going to admit it. My wife kept saying exactly what you just said. She would be fine with 2 boxes next to each other. And I was like, yeah, but I'm not okay with that. And so I put a lot of hours into this thing, and it became clearly my own sort of coping mechanism as much as something for my daughter. So
wait, I mean, how detailed is this thing? First of all, how big is it?
Well, it's a fully working coal-powered locomotive.
A coal-powered cardboard.
Yeah.
A steam engine. That's problematic. And have you fired it up yet?
No, I'm scared to, honestly, but I know it'll work if I do, at least for a couple of seconds. But it's fairly big. You know, it's a child's train that she can get inside of and pretend like she's a choo-choo engineer.
That's right. Yeah, but you know what's going to happen. It starts that way. I once built a train for my son, and he started off going choo-choo, and then within months, he went on strike. He demanded different hours. He invoked all kind of federal acts.
Yeah, a lot of labor law kicked in.
He tied me up in the courts. The train never ran on time. It lost money. So I'm just telling you, this is what's coming as your child gets older. You're also a fine musician, and I can see instruments behind you. You're a very, very good banjo player. Do you think your daughter has the gene?
Well, she loves to play. I got actually this little thing it's called a piccolo banjo. It's a tiny, it's like a ukulele-sized banjo.
Oh.
And this thing is really cool. This is actually from turn of the century. I think this was made in 1903. So it's
wow.
It's a valuable vintage instrument, but I let my 2-year-old play with it.
Can I hear a little something on it? Is that possible?
You readjust. Okay, here we go.
That's great. Yeah.
It's very hard. Like, I feel like a giant playing.
Yeah, well, of course, the neck would be really hard to play, I would guess, because it's everything's so compressed. That sounded great. I love the tone. It's so plinky and optimistic. You know?
It's a happy little instrument. And like I said, I probably shouldn't let my daughter play with it, but it's just, I don't want to be precious about it. I want her to.
I felt the same way. My daughter, when she was about your daughter's age, we just let her play with a Ming vase that we happened to have. She smashed it, and we were out. It was about $6 million, but she learned a love of pottery.
Yeah.
I think that's more important. You can't be too precious about these things. Let's talk about the whiskey sour happy hour, because this is a great idea.
I co-founded this thing called the bluegrasssituation.com, which is basically a online hub for roots Americana music and culture, and a platform for a lot of musicians. And our executive director, Amy Reitnauer, and I were just brainstorming as soon as this lockdown happened. I think, like a lot of people, we were just feeling like there's this big, terrible tragedy going on, but also because we're on lockdown, there's this feeling of impotence. Like, how can we do anything to help?
Yeah.
And so this idea just emerged. Well, let's just leverage all of our resources and friendships and relationships within the music biz and all these great artists, and put this variety show together. It's just a fun way to hang out. You can put it on in the background and listen to the music. Yeah.
We have a clip here from Whiskey Sour Happy Hour. Let's show that right now. Let's take a look.
Get along with it all. Where the people say, yo, sing a song with a friend, change the shape that I'm in, get back in the game, start playing again.
I wanted to get to one thing before we go, which is, I heard that you had been in contact with the other cast members of The Office.
Yeah, it's really been nice. There's just a text chain that started up. I think somebody had just sort of a question for everyone early on, and then of course everyone just started jumping in with memes and jokes and comments, and it's been really nice. There's something very nostalgic, and I mean, a lot of us are in touch anyway, but just to have everybody kind of riffing from time to time, it's really, really cool.
This pandemic has brought a lot of people closer together. Ironically, we're distanced, but we're communicating a lot more. Yeah. We're calling up friends we haven't talked to in a long time. We're Zooming people. So it's nice to think of the cast of The Office is no different. You guys are all just pinging each other back and forth.
Yeah. You know, I hear so often from fans how much that show means to them, and what a comfort it is to them. And that, of course, means so much to me, but I also, I share that with them, right? It's something that, for all of us that were involved in making that show, it was an incredible time. It was like just a magical time, and we all have deep nostalgia for it, not just the episodes as they turned out, but the actual communal process. Yeah, the teamwork of making that show. And there were no bad apples. It was an incredible cast. You know so many of the cast of that show. They're just wonderful, wonderful people.
I'm not going to give a couple of bad apples right off the top. Carell, not a good guy.
Carell, pain in the ass. Yes.
You know, I'm going to say about a third of you really good people, and the rest absolute monsters. And you know who I'm talking about, because you're one of the monsters.
Of course, yeah, no, and we're the only ones saying how wonderful everyone is.
Whenever Ed Helms is saying it was just not a bad apple in the group, you know he's the bad apple.
Yeah, he's the one.
Let me make sure I get the word out that you got to watch Whiskey Sour Happy Hour every Wednesday. Okay, this is from April 22nd to May 13th at the bluegrasssituation.com on BGS, Facebook, and YouTube.
It's also a fundraiser. So we're raising money for two incredible organizations, Music Cares and Direct Relief. So, and the donate buttons are active
Terrific.
For the duration too. So enjoy the show, and also give some money to some great causes.
Very good. Ed, you're a very fine fellow. I will say that about you. You're talented, but you're also you're very kind and nice and a stand-up gentleman. So I doff my imaginary cap to you. I really do.
And I salute you in a quasi-military fashion because
not military. You just use two fingers. So I think that means I'm a Girl Scout.
Yeah.
Hey Ed, thank you very much for doing this, and be well and enjoy your time with your family.
Of course. Thank you so much, Conan. It's always great to see you. Cheers. Another salute. Cheers.